What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into DCeased War of the Undead Gods issue number 7. With only one more issue to go in this limited series, it has all been building up to these moments. In the last issue, we saw a lot that was going on, but the biggest reveal was Alfred. Alfred Pennyworth became the Spectre. He became the Wrath. He became the Spirit of Vengeance. And with one single punch, we saw him take down a god. But even with him doing this, the world is still in jeopardy. This is a full-on invasion from the anti-life equation. And now only one question remains. Can our heroes make it through the night? Are they enough to defeat the undead? Make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, we are picking up with the battle for Earth 2. A battle that was extremely violent and chaotic. The arrival of Lobo made it even more so, as he enters the fray with an unimaginable ferocity. But we see Lobo come in here and he just absolutely decimates Lightray. And down on the planet's surface, we have Big Barda and Mr. Miracle. They are carrying through with this attack without hesitation, without mercy. And there was only one attacker to give them pause, their son Jacob. Mr. Miracle had stopped in the midst of battle to see his son taken over by the anti-life equation, nothing more than a monster. And while he should have put him down, he should have stopped him right then and there, his hesitation led to his death. Because Mr. Miracle has his heart ripped out by his own son. That is what takes us over to the Spectre, aka Alfred Pennyworth. He just absolutely decimated the father of the new gods. After what had happened to Damien, Alfred couldn't hold back. Fully enraged, he destroyed him. And in the aftermath, we see that Damien didn't walk away from this. Alfred believed that he had saved his son, but we see that the anti-life equation begins to take over. That's when Cassie comes in. Going to the side of Damien, Damien apologizes, saying that he tried. But he looks to Alfred and he tells him that it's not too late. And he knows that Alfred is going to want to peel every one of them apart. He is going to want to tear them limb from freaking limb. That he will want to destroy everything. But right now, Alfred is the only one with the power to save all of them. This is where we see the anti-life equation really start to get to Damien. He starts to pull at his own face. And this makes Cassie only fight harder. And they are pretty sure that Erebos can feel this. That he can sense the shifting in the tides. This battle is turning for all of humankind. The anti-life equation is failing. It is losing this battle, and so it sends its reinforcements. That comes in the form of Darkseid, Yellow Lanterns, and the Kryptonian. What follows behind them is Warworld. Every part of Alfred wants to go fight, to punish, to decimate everything the anti-life has infected. But Damien's last words ring through his head. He tells Wonder Woman to keep them all at bay until he returns. But Cassie is concerned that they need him in this fight. Not sure where he is going or where he is flying off to. He says that there is somewhere that he has to be. With Spectre leaving this battle, we have John Kent who goes directly for Darkseid. And at first, John is doing this fight on his own. That of course is until Brainiac comes in to join the attack. Perhaps the 9th level intelligence had calculated a chance, a possibility that the almighty Darkseid could be overcome by Brainiac working side by side with the most powerful son of his nemesis. But those calculations would be wrong. This is where we see Darkseid taking the box and shoving it into the brain of Brainiac. The box infected with the anti-life equation. This quickly takes him over and Brainiac heads directly towards his ship. The only one to recognize this is Cyborg. Now, Brainiac had destroyed hundreds of planets, but with each planet he ended, he abducted and shrank a city and its people. To preserve the knowledge of that world, this was his goal. And so Erebos had him return to his ship to spread death, to destroy all the stolen cities. And every city would have fallen if not for Cyborg. Cyborg comes in and he stops Brainiac. He lets it be known that all of these cities are under his protection, with Brainiac piercing into Cyborg. Just for a moment, the two living computers are connected. They are locked in a perfect stalemate, the fate of entire cultures resting in the balance. And Cyborg can feel Brainiac lurking, testing the firewalls. He tells him that this is a bad move, because he knows that he can't control him, that he can't infect him. But what Cyborg can do is infect Brainiac. He can control him, he can take his knowledge and his technology. And in a matter of moments, we see that Cyborg has melded together with Brainiac. They have become one. Victor Stone, the man who held himself responsible for the spread of the virus, who blamed himself for so much pain and death, saved hundreds of civilizations from genocide. And now Cyborg gaining all of Brainiac's knowledge. This gave him an idea. Getting to the planet's surface and finding Lois Lane. He wants to know where Kandor is. And back up in the stars, we have John, who is still fighting against Darkseid. To those looking on, it would look like John is running from him, that he is running away from this battle, telling everybody to keep fighting. But what John had seen that no one else could, or at least no one else was paying attention to, was a power growing in the heart of Warworld. An energy that has been building, a cannon that is targeting Earth 2. Warworld unleashed a blast heavy enough to bring down an entire planet, and the teenager of steel, he stood in the path. He pushed back an impossible power. He flew through the destructive force, deflecting it away, his clothes burning, his skin blistering. He took away the biggest gun that they had, and then he fell to Earth 2. But as one Kryptonian falls, we see an entire army of Kryptonians rise. 1,000 Kryptonians go to fight. Citizens of the bottle city of Kandor, restored by Cyborg when he reverse-engineered Brainiac's technology in a matter of moments. The Man of Steel there to catch his son as he goes falling to the surface. And so, as the Kryptonian army defends Earth 2, we have Spectre that is coming in. He had to speed away to gather what he could, to save Leslie, to save Damian, and so many others. Returning to see an army of Kryptonians turning the tide, he arrives with the cure in tow. As quickly as he can, he gets that inside of Leslie and Damian. With them getting back up on their feet, today he saved the ones that he loved. They were able to bring them all back. Some they loved, others they hated. This is where we see our heroes pinning down Darkseid, having trouble being able to pierce his skin. That's where we have Lobo coming in, saying that he has a technique for doing this. They hand Lobo the cure and he goes and shoves it right down the throat of Darkseid. Darkseid biting down, he literally bites off the hand of Lobo. And it takes a few seconds, but we see that Darkseid is finally starting to come around. The Spectre being there to let him know what happened. That he had been taken, but he was brought back. That he had been used. Darkseid takes this for a moment, he takes this information in, posing the question that he was used as a pawn. Superman lets him know that he was. Now, there are many people that were there that day that advocated for the death of Darkseid. If it were not for the compassion of Clark Kent, Darkseid would have been taken out. But for the battle that lies ahead, they need him. And with Darkseid furious that someone used him as a weapon, they gained an unlikely and terrifying ally that day, with Darkseid letting it be known that his vengeance will be terrible. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I gotta say, DCeased War of the Undead Gods has probably been one of my more favorite lines coming out of the DCeased umbrella. Now, don't get me wrong, Deathstroke's part in all of DCeased was absolutely phenomenal. Some of the best writing to come out of DCeased dealt with Deathstroke. But this story has been so absolutely phenomenal. Of course, Alfred is the one to do this. Alfred is the one that made this comic. He made this limited series. And while he could have gone out there and he could have destroyed so many of the anti-life, instead of going towards anger, he came to be the savior. He brought the cure and they helped as many people as possible. And because he did this, now Darkseid is siding with life. No longer a puppet to the anti-life equation, having an army of Kryptonians at their side. There is one final battle to be had. And while once the odds were stacked against life, it is now death who needs to be running. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that has been going on with DCeased, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.